What's going on, everyone? My name is Nicker Catalyst, and in this video I'll be reviewing the General Liu. We'll go with Liu. The General Liu Medic Rifle, new with the In the Name of the Tsar DLC. Later in the day I'll have the Fedorov Alvamat review up. I know I said it was coming today, but based on which footage I had, I decided to do this video first. Now, the General Liu Semi-Auto Medic Rifle. Is it good? Actually, I was quite surprised by this one, because from the start I thought this weapon was going to be awful. When I played with it on the CTE before the DLC released, I didn't think it was that great. Now, granted, I was playing on a West server with like 120 ping, because none of the East servers were working. However, I thought it was going to be another integration of the Selbstlader 1906, which is often considered to be the worst weapon in the entire game. Fortunately, the Medic class is a new conservative mid-range weapon, which is a category or playstyle that hasn't really been catered to in the Medic class yet, so that's awesome. So pulling up the weapon stats on screen now, the General Liu fires at around 300 rounds per minute with a damage output of 40 points maximum and 35 points minimum. So at the very least, in a one-on-one engagement, it'll take 3 to 4 shots to kill every single time if you're hitting the chest, because of course every part of the body has a different damage multiplier, so if you're shooting the head, it'll obviously take less shots. If you're shooting arms and legs, it'll take more shots. So what you need to unlock this weapon is to get 40 or 50 kills, I'm not quite sure which, with the Mondragon Storm, and you need to get 40 squad heals. This will take you a while just because of how the game works, especially as a medic and the weapon you're using, and this is just for the factory version, which is the version that I suggest you get first, because the assignment to get the Storm version is absolutely atrocious. You need 50 kills with the auto-loading 3.85 marksman variant, and that gun is an absolute KD killer. I utterly despise and detest this gun. It is awful, and it is my personal worst weapon in the entire game, and I hated the entire time that I was trying to get kills for the weapon unlock. You'll have to essentially pick off weak targets and steal kills from people, because getting kills with the weapon without help is downright grueling. And in addition to that, you also need 30 rifle grenade kills, which upon first glance seems manageable, but really is more difficult than you think. So the easier challenge is to definitely go for the factory version first, even though, unfortunately, I don't think it's a superior variant. Now, what sets this weapon apart from being a complete and utter dumpster fire is that, unlike the Selbstlader 1906, is that the General Liu has an extra round in its clip, which really what makes the weapon so viable. I'm going to be comparing this weapon a lot to the 1906, as you've already heard. The extra round in the clip makes all the difference in this weapon. It gives you a decent double kill potential if you hit your shots, and it simply gives you a better chance at killing single targets, since the weapon is more often than not a 3-shot kill, whereas the 1906 you have 5 shots to kill one person, and sometimes, actually most times, that wasn't even enough, assuming that you hit your shots. If you ran up on multiple targets with the Selbstlader 1906, you were not going to survive without any help. You were never, ever going to win that gunfight. The General Liu just gives you more of a cushion, not to mention that the gun itself sounds really cool, almost like an M1 Garand from the Second World War. It's got the same greedy punch, and it's a very satisfying weapon to use. The iron sights are pretty good in themselves, but the recoil can sometimes be a little tricky to handle, which is why I suggest that you get the factory version first, and then just grind the Storm variant over time. So you'll either get used to the recoil so much that you don't now need the Storm variant, or you'll eventually get the Storm variant and it will allow you to just be faster and more accurate with less recoil. Now, this is still not a weapon that you want to rush out with. It's still a very ADS heavy weapon. You can rush a little bit with it since you have the extra bullet and therefore a little better chance of getting some double kills, but this is really a conservative mid-range weapon that can drop a target very quickly if it needs to. So, is the General Liu good? I think it is, but let me know what you think. It's a very good weapon when you cater to its playstyle. I highly recommend doing the assignments to get this rifle, even though the Storm assignment will make you uninstall the game a few times. Thank you all so much for watching. The Fedorov video will be up later this afternoon or by tonight. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like and subscribe if you're new. My name is Nicker Catalyst, and I will see you all on the battlefield.